Hi, I'm Rachel Gable. I'm the assistant editor of the Fence Post magazine, and this is your Fair Cattle Markets update for the 12th of August. The Senate has passed a budget resolution, and the House is scheduled to return for a vote. The $3.5 trillion with a T budget plan would expand healthcare, education, and climate initiatives, and would have some tax information in there that could affect farmers and ranchers, in addition to some immigration reform. The final Senate vote on the budget resolution took place at 4 o'clock this morning, and it was by a vote of 50 to 49 that it finally passed on the budget resolution. So, and excuse me, much of the back and forth was on agriculture items. In one of the first votes, the Senate unanimously adopted an amendment from Senator John Thune, a Republican from South Dakota, to ensure that family-owned small businesses and farms could be handed down to descendants based upon the tax rules that were in place when the owners began operating. Now, if you'll recall, we've talked a little bit about the death tax, that one of the budgets that was proposed would have made the death tax a huge percentage, and it was payable almost immediately upon death unless I can't remember exactly, it was like unless the direct descendants of that person continued to operate that same farm or ranch, and there was going to be a lot of gray area there. The amendment, this was according to the Hagstrom report, the amendment was directed at the elimination of the system of valuing assets at death known as the stepped-up basis. The Biden administration has said any elimination of stepped-up basis should not affect family-owned farmers, but farm leaders say such an exemption would be complicated to manage and possibly ineffective. Senators then voted 49 to 50 to reject a related amendment from several Democrats that would have created a reserve fund to shield family farms, ranches, and other small businesses from such tax changes. The Senate also adopted an amendment offered by Senator John Boozman, a Republican from Arkansas, and the Senate Agriculture Committee ranking member, that prevents a ban on fossil fuels, which he said is vital in providing access to affordable, reliable energy to power farms, businesses, and broadband networks in rural America. The chamber also voted 66 to 33 to adopt an amendment from Senator Joni Ernst, a Republican from Iowa, to block Democrats from imposing any new permits or federal methane requirements on livestock. Ernst called the proposal a cow tax and noticed that she got support from Democrats for the measure. Also, one of the former USDA top spots is in pretty hot water. Richard Homan, the former chief of the Ag Department Office of Homeland Security and Emergency Coordination Physical Security Division, was sentenced Tuesday to 180 days of home detention and fined $110,000 for carrying out a multi-year scheme in which he accepted bribes in exchange for ensuring the awarding of USDA contracts. And this all according to the Justice Department. In the release, according to court papers, between July of 2013 and December of 2015, Eric Schneider and Communications Resources, Inc., CRI, gave Holman and other USDA officials Corvette wheels, concert tickets, PGA Tour tickets, meals, alcohol, strip clubs, parking, concierge, medical services, prescription drugs, and other cash tips. In exchange, Holman gave Schneider and CRI preferential treatment in the award of USDA contracts worth over $19 million. As part of the scheme, CRI employees drafted procurement documents in such a way as to favor the award of multi-million-dollar contracts to CRI, and USDA officials used the documents in the procurement process as they prepared them. Of course, the NCBA meeting is happening in Nashville right now, so lots of speakers and such going on down there. I've tried to tune into some of them, but there's so many, it's hard to keep up with. I'm still digging into the new market reports. I had a really interesting conversation one with a Colorado market analyst and another one, a market analyst from Nebraska. And they had some good input for me. So I'll have full coverage of that in the Fence Post, and I assume the Tri-State this week as well. I'm hearing lots about families that are suffering some pretty huge losses this week. So boy, there's lots of people that need your prayers. So if you're the praying type, God knows the need, and gosh, lots of people could use those prayers of comfort. I'm Rachel Gable, and this is your Fair Cattle Markets update for the 12th of August.